How many times have you heard that's just too much bike? Meaning that's way too much power for a particular rider. Or maybe they're even talking about you. Who knows? Welcome, everyone. I'm Nooga Cowboy from Cowboy and the Indian. And on this second episode for this mini-series for beginning riders, I wanted to discuss power of the bikes when you go and purchase your first motorcycle. As I mentioned in the previous, in the first episode of this mini-series, you know, I have done some test rides on the Honda Rebel 500, on the Harley 883, and of course my own motorcycle, the Scout 60. But when you're that first-time rider, beginning rider, whatever you want to call it, I think that one of the most important things is that you get a bike that you can handle. You're not going to go out for your first motorcycle and buy a Hayabusa. You're just not going to do it. I hope you would not do that, because you're talking about motorcycles that, you know, can go very, very fast, and they can go fast quickly. So if you're a beginner out there, I'm hoping that you don't go buy one of those. Now, I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. But for first-timers, yeah, probably stay away from those. So when you're that first-time motorcycle rider, and you've got your course, you've got your license, you're ready to go, one of the things I always suggest, and I ranked my top 3 beginning motorcycles, just from the motorcycles that I've had a chance to test ride. And my third choice would be an Indian Scout 60. I don't know if I'd call the Indian Scout 60 a beginning motorcycle. Plenty of power. It can still get away from you. But just for the motorcycles I've had a chance to ride, I'm putting it in there at number 3. Number 2, the Harley Iron 883. Very cool-looking motorcycle. Not as much power as the Indian Scout 60. Not as pricey as the Indian Scout 60. So when I rode that, I was like, this would be a great motorcycle for beginners. And then I rode the Honda Rebel 500. And it's even more of a beginner's motorcycle than, say, the Harley or the Indian Scout 60. So when you're looking at a motorcycle as a beginner and you're trying to make that choice, we all love the cool-looking motorcycles. We all want to go fast, but you got to be smart about it, especially when you start out riding. You want to make sure, the number one thing, you don't want to get too much bike, right? You want to be able to ride it and enjoy it and just get the feel of being on a motorcycle on the highways, on the interstates. You're around tractor trailers. You know, you want to stay away from them as much as possible, but there are times when you're going to get caught. Whether you got two tractor trailers on each side or you're beside one, you're catching that wind. There's a lot of things to learn, and one of the most important things is getting out there and just riding. That's where all experience is going to come in. I mean, I can tell you all the things that you need to hear, that you need to learn when you get out there on the road. But in the end, you just got to get out there, and you got to get out there and ride. So you don't want to get a motorcycle that's got too much power for you, because you want to be able to ride safely. You know, when you were taking the course, if you took the motorcycle safety course, what was you riding? You were on a 250, right? Whether it was an old Honda or an old Suzuki. Not much power at all. You're just learning. I mean, you're just learning how to take a corner. You're learning how to brake and avoid obstacles in the road, swerving. So you're just learning the basics there. That's why they have a 250. That's why you don't see Kawasaki Ninjas out there on the safety course, or you don't see the Hayabusas or the H2s. You just don't see it. There's a reason, because you're learning. So even when you do pass the course, when you do get you're ready to go as far as licensing is concerned, you're still learning. Because as a motorcycle rider, you got to be able to address and assess all situations that could occur within your visibility. You got to be able to know, okay, where's my escape route? You got to be 10 times more aware of what's going on around you than, say, the guy next to you in the truck or in the lady next to you in the car. Just always got to be aware. So you want to learn how to ride before you really start spending a lot of money on a motorcycle. And that's why I say the Honda Rebel 500, the Harley, those are two really good beginning motorcycles that you can really learn on and know how to deal with some of these situations. So when you're ready to buy that first motorcycle, don't get the Hayabusa, okay? Just do yourself a favor and find something that you can handle, that you'll enjoy riding on, to learn how to ride. That's the key. Again, that is the key, learning how to ride with your first motorcycle. And after 6 months to a year, you can trade it in. You can trade it in and get what you really want. That's why it's smart to buy a motorcycle, your first motorcycle. Make sure the budget's right. Make sure it's not too much of a bike for you. Ride it 6 months to a year. Learn how to ride a motorcycle, and then you can trade it in and then get a bike that you really like if it's within your budget. So just take that into consideration as you're going out there. Budget. And is it too much bike for you? That people need to be really aware, because how many times have you seen videos? I mean, just go to YouTube right here. You can go and see all these motorcycle wrecks and motorcycle fails of people that just don't know how to ride because the motorcycle they're on is just too much for them. Just too much. So be smart about it. You don't want to wreck your motorcycle first and foremost, and you want to continue on with this two-wheeled hobby that we all love. We've got one more, maybe two more episodes of this Beginning Riders mini-series. So looking forward to bringing that to you. Until next time, catch us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search Cowboy and the Indian. Thank you so much for the support. Until next time, this is the Nooga Cowboy for Cowboy and the Indian.